Time to see what the wizards are up to.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, everyone. Nice to see you all. We haven't been on for a couple weeks. I was out away for 1 week, and then I came back, and I was really sick. So sorry for the last-minute cancellation last week. But
we're back, and we have
back. It feels like it's been a while, and then we have plenty to share because we haven't done a stream in a few weeks. So we have a lot of really cool stuff to share. For whatever reason, the live stream did not go live on the Wise Wizard Games page, which is why I also streamed it on the Star Realms and Heroes page this week. So if you joined on those pages, thanks for watching. This normally streams on the Wise Wizard Games Facebook page and on our Twitch and YouTube channels. So let's see. We have a lot to cover today. I know the most exciting thing I'm excited about is some new Hero Realms cards that are coming up in the new Kickstarter. Just let's do a couple quick housekeeping things. So we ran a coloring contest for Hero Realms, and it was a very detailed drawing. Here's a few of our entries, and I actually started an entry also, and I think next time we won't have as many details because it actually took a very long time. So to everyone who entered, thank you for your perseverance in finishing this up. These look great. Well, a couple of these aren't completely done, but they still look like a very awesome effort. And our winners, that contest, the prize was Hero Realms base game and character packs. And the winners were actually two siblings, Zephyr and Griffin. And they both submitted a picture. And also, so we have the Hero Realms group shot completely done. And then also the wizard. So that was exciting. And we have a web page which has all of our coloring pages. If anyone likes to color when they're trying to relax or has kids that like to color, Saf can post the link below to all of our coloring pages. The Hero Realms character shot is definitely the most detailed one. I will give you that because I've done quite a few of them. But yeah, nice job, Zephyr and Griffin. And thanks everyone else who entered. That was really fun. And for this week, we're giving away, it's Halloween time. We've already put up our giant dragon. We have a 10 foot tall flaming dragon on our front lawn right now. And I just put out a gigantic skull as well that I found when I was upstairs looking at our shipping materials in the attic. So yeah, we've been putting out our Halloween decorations. So this week we decided to give away some spooky things. Sorcerer, it has awesome spooky art. And this week we'll be giving away some Sorcerer expansion packs. And I did not check to see how you enter this contest. So I hope that Saf will post below. One of the things we talked about, we did get feedback that Gleam can be challenging to use. So we're mixing it up. Sometimes we will use Gleam. Sometimes it'll be just a single, go like this social media page or go comment on this post. So we're going to mix it up to make it a bit easier. I know not everyone's on Facebook, so we'll be switching it up. If anyone has any ideas on contests, let us know. But we just want to keep it fun and give people the chance to get more of our games if they want to participate in that kind of stuff. So yeah. Quick reminder, we have a new schedule for this. Was our old streaming schedule, and we've added some new times.
So yes, we have we've got lots of in-app tournaments coming all the time, and we've added some cool new in-app tournaments. So the other day Darwin was talking to me and saying, hey, how exactly do we add new tournament formats? Because I've got some ideas on formats that I think would be a lot of fun. And Darwin is a super avid, he's the original designer for Star Realms and a super avid Star Realms digital player, also avid Epic digital and Hero Realms digital player. So he's on the apps a lot. And he had some ideas for formats. He wanted a missions format with outside of the big deck scenario, and was also looking for a format that incorporated all the ships and bases from various sets without the other cards, without the events or missions and gambits, etc. So Darwin designed a couple new formats. We've added them to the schedule. So we've added a couple new tournaments in there. And we have a blog post where Darwin talks about the new formats, what's cool about them. And these are added to our already existing tournament schedule. Also, as a reminder, Wednesday tournaments are free. The regular weekday tournaments are very cheap, cost like $1 or so worth of credits in order to play in them. But on Wednesday, tournaments are completely free. So definitely on Wednesday, jump on in. And if you want to try any of these other tournaments, do that. And then the weekly championship every Saturday, if you win that, you get alternate art Scouts and Vipers, which are gorgeous. And you'll get them in the app. And whenever you play, everyone can see how cool your cool prize. So we've got all these tournaments coming up, including a couple new ones, and hope to see you guys in the tournament scene.
Yeah, we occasionally get messages into support like, I was playing someone and they had different Scouts and Vipers. How do I get those?
Also, if you're available to play Saturday morning, I think Darwin's won the last 3 and he really needs to be taken out. So if you want to come in on Saturday and beat Darwin down.
Yeah, that's his favorite. If you want to challenge Darwin. I agree. We need more. So Hero's digital update. So we actually created this 2 weeks ago when so we've had an update which came out and we posted about it around on all of our channels. We did a Kickstarter update. So we tried to over communicate. We got feedback that not everyone knew the update was coming the last time. So we posted a Kickstarter update. We emailed everyone to their preferred emails, and we also posted on social media and on Discord. So if you didn't know about it, I'd love to hear it, because that means there must be some other way we need to communicate with you. But we launched real-time play. Rob will talk a little bit about that, but I wanted to let you know that you'll be seeing postings about another update coming. So whenever we come out with, big features, there's always feedback and things that aren't working quite right. That's why this is a beta, to get feedback and to make it the best play possible. So we're fixing some things, and we'll be doing another update this coming Monday morning. So you'll see posts around on social media, etc., on the Kickstarter as well, about that update that's coming. So
basically some updates, when we update, we can do update without interfering with games in progress, but other updates that are changing the mechanics of how things work, those are breaking updates, and we have a breaking update coming up. We just did one to add real-time play. And this is something that people have been asking for a lot. So basically, you can play 48-hour games where basically you have 48 hours to make your move. These are great for, having a bunch of games going at once, playing a turn while you're in line at the grocery store or on the bus, or when you do feel like sitting down and playing, if you're playing a 48-hour game. If your opponent happens to be online as well, you can each make moves as fast as you want, but you have up to 48 hours to make a move. But sometimes people like to play games and get them done right away. For that, real-time play is awesome. For the real-time play, we are using a chess clock system. So we've got 20 minutes on your chess clock and 2 minutes on your, in addition, there's a 2 minutes to finish each individual turn. So every turn you have 2 minutes to finish it, and you have a total of 20 minutes to finish your game. Your opponent also has 20 minutes. If either your turn clock runs out or your total 20-minute turn clock runs out, you lose the game. So basically, this is a way to ensure that people move along. This system is different from what we use in Star Realms, primarily because we have the ability to undo moves in Hero Realms. And so our Star Realms system, where we give you time every time you make a play, doesn't really work in Hero Realms because a lot of the plays can be undone. And that sort of messes with the timing system. So we have this chess clock system that's also very nice for tournaments because we know exactly how long a round can take in maximum, 40 minutes. So basically, when we're running tournaments, we know for sure in this amount of time, everybody's going to be done and the next round can begin. We need to know from you, the players, is this a good amount of time? Does this feel, do you have enough time to play properly? Are you having any issues getting your turns done or your game as a whole done? Or is there tons of extra time and you have to wait forever on your opponent? So we maybe have too much, maybe we have too little. So this is a system in progress and we'd love to get your feedback on it. And we do have some errors in the app currently, which are going to be corrected on Monday's update. We have occasional scenarios where champions, which are in play at the beginning of your turn, activate more than once in combination with some at start of turn abilities. So we're getting that fixed up in the next update.
I'm not quite sure what this question means, and I don't think Double Dubs is online, but is there some means of respecing for Hero Realms digital beta characters? I'm thinking this might have to do with balancing and feedback.
So basically, if this is a question about play balance, it is my expectation that with the thousands and thousands and thousands of games that are played online, we are gonna discover that certain things need little balance tweaks. So obviously, when we design stuff, we play test it a lot, but with Hero Realms, it is so incredibly dynamic. When you have your character, you have the 5 different character classes. Each of those we're designing for 24 different levels, and on those levels, you can choose different things, and you can play any of these matchups against each other. So there are millions and millions of possible combinations. The number would be absurd. So we test, but we can't test every single possibility exhaustively. So there's probably going to be some play balance issues. And we can do things with the app, like we can look at vast numbers of games and look at win ratios for classes and cards and characters at various levels and those sorts of things. If there are balance issues, we will tweak. I have been looking at this. So far, there hasn't been anything strong enough that I've wanted to initiate any changes. I've looked at possible changes, but we want to gather more data. I don't want to make a change unless it's absolutely necessary for balance purposes. But that is something that we're going to be looking at over time. So if that was your question,
it wasn't. I don't
that's
think.
The answer. Okay,
but that is a question that's come up in Discord, so that's why I thought that might be it. Someone else said, I think this actually is probably what they meant was that SC Freak. I think they meant being able to re-roll the Runes of Thandar treasures.
I see. So basically, as you level up, you get choices. Do you want this treasure or that treasure? Certain things may come up for you sometimes and not others. So is there going to be the ability to re-roll your character? That I don't know. Like basically we've looked at various options on it, trying to decide what's sort of the most fun for overall play experience. Obviously, you can have multiple characters going, so having different options on different ones could be fun. Maybe getting exactly what you want is correct. We thought about the possibility of having like a magic item shop where you could exchange a treasure for a different treasure with some currency or something. So we're looking at various possibilities. Not sure which way we're going to go on it, but that is something that we're looking at.
We had a follow-up on the, that's not it. Sorry. A follow-up, we keep up questions come in on the, do you think balance changes would move over to the physical gameplay? So
ideally, yes. What we would likely do is issue a RADA. So let's say we discover, this treasure's too weak. No one's picking it. And when they do pick it, their win ratios aren't as good as if they pick this other treasure. And we decide we want to power it up. We would make a change to that card, and then we would put out a RADA and probably an updated image of what the card looks like. So much like for people who are familiar with like Magic the Gathering and stuff, sometimes cards get errata there, and they're like, okay, here's what the new card looks like, and your old card still has the old print on it, but hey, when I play this, it works in this new way. So we would do a similar thing where basically, if we make changes, we'll post them, and you'll be able to apply that to your physical play as well. Now, it's possible we may do something customized for digital, because obviously in digital we have the power of the computer processing game issues. So there may be times where we make mechanics or things that only work in digital, but generally speaking, we want everything to be backwards compatible to the physical play. And when we make those changes, we will share them and have basically ongoing errata. Here's the current versions.
We had couple positive comments about the Magic Shop. Any plans for home console releases?
So this is something that we're looking at. So basically with the digital team, everything's opportunity cost, right? Like basically we have features that we want to make for Star Realms, features we want to make for Hero Realms. With Hero Realms, we've got tons and tons of stuff to add. We've got additional sets. We want to increase the level cap, bring in additional magic items. We want to add tournaments. There's just this long laundry list of things that we want to do. But adding platforms to bring in more players is also a really big deal. So it's definitely something the digital team has sort of looked at and is sort of considering. And then it's a question of when does that bubble up to the top of the priority list. And everything sort of, as I said, everything is opportunity cost to work on that. We got to hold off working on, say, tournaments in Hero Realms or adding a feature in Star Realms or whatnot while we get that new platform. So it's something we're considering. We're looking at it.
So a couple comments on the time, whether people have enough time. So the Joker feels like the Ranger maybe could use a little bit more time because they, can plan. They need to plan ahead with their ability where they can put their cards, look at their cards in their deck. But I've not had a game run out so far. But I'm pretty much just playing the Wizard. The Wizard is a good choice. I hope nobody hurts your cat. And Larry thinks the timer's fine. I'd be curious, Larry, what characters are you playing? If anything, it could be less, in my opinion. So yeah, I'd be curious if you're playing the Wizard as well.
No, the nice thing about having a timer at all is it ensures your opponent's committed to playing the game now. So just having a timer is great because they're sitting down, they're paying attention to your game they're playing. But yes, we definitely want to get the timer right. I want to err on the side of letting a player who's new to timed games. So if someone gets the app, they play some versus the AI, and now they want to play online and they try out the real time. I don't want them to not be able to make decisions. So I want to err on the side of giving a little more time for those players who need it. And yes, we'll look at things like, we'll try and gear it toward the most complicated class. So basically, we're not going to give the Ranger more time than the Fighter, but we may build it so there's enough time for the Ranger, and the Fighter just has a very safe clock. If you can play your turn very fast, great. You've got extra time, and you can maybe you'll end your match with extra time, or maybe if you need it during the
Here's feedback that cleric versus cleric. There's a lot of thinking to do as well.
Yeah.
I know for me on real time on Star Realms, I run out of time. So I appreciate, erring on the side of a little bit of extra time. I know it might be hard for people like Larry who don't need any extra time to understand, but some of us take a while, especially later in the game when there's like a lot happening and a lot of cards coming, and I start to be like, oh my God, it's gonna run out. I just stress about it. So I generally play 48-hour, but I do real time for testing, and I stress about it.
Yeah, one of the things I've thought about is we could potentially have an emergency timer with like an extra minute or two. When your 2-minute turn runs out, you start burning your emergency timer, but your emergency timer doesn't refill. So that's one possibility. We're looking at a lot of options for it.
Yeah. Oh, Dustin says he loves the real-time implementation and the clock. Thanks. See you later. Thanks for joining us. So Larry plays all the characters. That's cool. Yeah. And he's beat Darwin once. He's coming after you, Rod. He hasn't beat you yet. So speaking of, Larry is one of the designers on Kapow. So I don't have a graphic in here for it, but I wanted to mention that the team up cards are now up on Tabletop Simulator.
We've also have Quintessa and Worm. So all the single player characters are in Kapow, or should be in the Kapow digital now, as well as the team play. So if you're interested in doing some Kapow play testing, that would be awesome.
Yeah, I am interested. So if anyone has particular days or times that would be good for them, I would love to get a few people together. So I'm somewhat flexible. So just send me a message if anyone wants to play, because I'd like to get like 4 people together at a specific time. We do Thursday evening sometime, but I know that wasn't great for everyone. So Weekday evenings are better for me, or I could also potentially do, first thing in the morning if you were in Europe. So let me know if anyone's interested in doing some play testing. And then let's see. Oh, look at this burn here. 48 hours still isn't enough for Deb to take her turn. Oh, yeah.
Oh, so accurate.
Okay, I have timed out. I'm going to apologize if I've ever timed out on anyone. But I'm trying to be better. And so,
it's just because she's so busy working to get you guys all your products.
Okay, we have a few more questions coming in here. Let's see. Will HR be playable natively through the App Store?
So we are looking at the Hero Realms being on the Android, I believe it's Google Play Store, the iOS, the App Store in for iPhone, iPad, and on Steam. Currently, it's Steam for PC. I believe we want to do Steam for Mac.
Well, I don't know if Joe was on, but I thought it was actually on the App Store. So when the App Store is supported on the Mac, which is coming, it sounds like it's now available on one of the Macs. Then we would support it through the Mac Store. But I'm gonna let's see if Joel's on and he can pipe in here. But if he's not, we'll confirm.
So this is something we'll have to check with the
answer.
digital team to give you the final answer.
But yeah, I don't think we are doing Steam on Mac anymore. Okay, will future campaign chapters, will there be voice acting or animation?
So some of you may have noticed that we've tested out some voice stuff with, I believe it is the Male Fighter has some for some of their moves. We have some voice stuff. That's stuff that we're looking at, and so we're gonna play around with that sort of thing in campaigns with the various characters, and basically, if it makes the app better and more fun, then that's the direction we're gonna go. So we're testing it out.
Let's see. Sis Freak, I need to know how to pronounce your name. You must tell me. Said it would be this. They like the I think this was when you were talking about the emergency button fix. Just a little bit of feedback on that. So, oh yeah, Morgan wants us to hurry up with the questions so that we can do the spoilers. Okay, so this epic question we'll cover this after we cover the Hero Realm stuff, Blake. So, well, adding changes or errata. So, would you consider adding changes or errata for the Star Realms commander?
Absolutely. So basically, we're going to be looking at win ratios with the Star Realms commanders as well. So that's an area where we may errata those guys. So yeah, basically any of the asymmetric stuff in the app, in the apps, we will look at and potentially tweak for balance as we get the data of our play testing cannot compare with the thousands and thousands and thousands of games that get played digitally. So we will look at that and take that into consideration. So Hero Realms. Speaking of Hero Realms, we have a bunch of new content coming to Kickstarter November 16th. We finalized the date to be November 16th. So in a little less than a month, Dungeons will be coming to Kickstarter. This Kickstarter features 6 new characters and a new box set, which will include a new market deck. And of course, we'll have a bunch of Kickstarter exclusives. And the box set also features a solo and cooperative campaign experience, 12 encounter dungeon experience where you can take your character from level 1 up through level 12, battling through the dungeons of Thandar. So that is something we're really excited about. We've got wallpaper available. If you want to get the wallpaper, we have a sign up for information.
Well, yes. So there is a sign up link. Saf will post it below. So if you want to get updates, we're going to be sending out spoilers, and we've already sent an email, but if you sign up now, you'll get that email with the link to the wallpapers. But over time, we'll send out more stuff. So we recommend that you sign up for that if you are interested in getting things like that.
And the dungeon set is going to have an all new 80 card market deck. And just like Colony Wars or Frontiers with Star Realms, you can play this market deck on its own, or you can combine it with the original market deck. So you'll have tons of play options. And we've got some spoilers to share of some of the new cards.
And a quick question: is this going to be the next expansion to follow for the story, or its own thing?
So it is. So the dungeon 12-part encounter is its own thing. So this is like a separate storyline. You can the dungeon set is going to include 2 characters, the Barbarian and the Alchemist, right in the box, along with the new market and with this adventure. So right out of the box, you'll be able to play solo or cooperative, PvP, all the different play modes that exist in Hero Realms. You'll be able to play out of this one box set. You'll be able to take characters that you, your fighter, thief, etc., with the content from Ruin of Thandar with their magic items and such. You'll be able to bring those in and run them through the dungeon adventure if you want, or you'll be able to play the new characters, of course, through this dungeon encounter. But there's a separate storyline from the Ruin of Thandar storyline. But speaking of the Ruin of Thandar storyline, there will be an add-on in this Kickstarter for Watery Graves, the next set in the next encounters in the Ruin of Thandar storyline. So basically, we're going to have 2 complete separate storyline modules that you'll be able to play through: the Dungeons storyline and the Ruin of Thandar storyline, and we'll be creating content for both as time goes on. We've got, as I said, we've got some spoilers for new cards. So these are cards from the new market deck in the dungeon set. So we have Pester. This is a wild resource card. It's going to give you 2 gold when you play it. This one's got some really nice features. It allies for 3 combat, so pretty decent hit for a 1-cost card if you can get that ally ability. And importantly, it's got the ability to be sacrificed to make your opponent discard a card. So you can use this early to build up your economy. Once your deck is humming along and you don't need the money anymore, you can sack this to cause your opponent to discard a card. So both thin this out of your deck and make your opponent discard. And of course, if you've got a bunch of wild discard going and if you got multiple discards going in a turn, you may want to sacrifice this to get that extra discard and get that punishing multiple discard turn. Here, Rattling Welcome. This shows off a new mechanic in the dungeon set. This has when you acquire it, you put it on the bottom of your deck. So basically, this gives you a lot of opportunity to manipulate your upcoming draws. So, let's say you've got 3 cards left in your deck. If you buy this, it's going on the bottom. So now you have 4 cards left in your deck, and you're going to draw this next turn. Potentially, you might know you have a guild card with a cool ally ability coming up in your deck. You may buy this to, layer this in there to either increase the odds, depending on how many cards are left in your deck, or potentially guarantee you get that ally ability, depending on how much stuff is left in your deck. And of course, this card has great flexibility, 3 gold or 4 combat. So it can be hard hitting. It can increase your buying potential. This card's great. Early, great, late, and that ability to put it on the bottom of your deck is very cool and has lots of really cool subtle play implications. All right, so here is a Light the Way. This is a classic Imperial card where it's getting more powerful depending on the number of champions you have in play. So this one gives you 3 combat and 3 health. So a nice 6-point swing altogether. But for each champion you have in play, it's getting an additional +2 combat and +2 health. So it can very quickly become a quite powerful card, particularly wonderful in, like, say, the hands of the cleric or another class with lots of champions, say, for example, the druid. So like the way it can be quite a good card if you're on a heavy champion strategy.
I had a question about rattling welcome.
All right. So when you have multiple effects, so okay, I can put this on the bottom or the top. You would get the ability to choose which of those to apply.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so dragged below. This is a hard-hitting cult card. So this one's giving you 9 combat, and importantly, this has the when acquired, put it on the bottom of your deck ability. So this one you can get that combat really soon, depending on the point in the point you are in your deck. Maybe buying this will give it to you next turn, or sometimes when you're when you're low in cards in your deck and you've got some card draws in your hand, sometimes you can set this up, buy it, put it on the bottom of your tiny little deck, and then draw a couple cards with cards in your hand and get it right away. So Dragged Below can get you lots of combat very quickly. It has no ally ability, so basically, and no sacrifice ability, so basically it's just a hard-hitting card, but boy, does it hit hard. Okay, Treasure Hunt. This is a powerful ramping wild card. This is giving you 3 gold when you play it. So great for your deck's economy. Allies for 5 combat. So if you've got a wild heavy deck, this can hit hard while you're buying some good stuff. And it's got the ability to be sacrificed for an additional 3 gold. So, man, can this card ramp you to some big purchases on its own? It can get you 6 gold if you're willing to sacrifice it. 3 gold when you play it, plus 3 gold for sacrificing it, get you to those 8 cost purchases very rapidly. Okay, here is Pack Dragon. Nothing like having a dragon in your party for the dungeon adventure. So this guy is 5 combat, so a hard hitter, a 6-point guard, so really great at keeping you and your other champions alive. And it's got ally draw card, so just a phenomenal champion for the later game. Hunt for Jewels. This is a really fun card. So when you play Hunt for Jewels, you acquire a fire gem for free and put it in your hand. So you just grab a fire gem, so that you obviously then can play the fire gem and get 2 gold. And if you want to, you can sacrifice the fire gem for the 3 combat. Also, when you play Hunt for Jewels, you draw cards. So basically, you can use it as 2 gold, 3 combat, draw a card. Or if you want to keep the fire gem in your deck, just draw a card and get 2 gold, and you've got an extra fire gem in your deck. Also, it's got the for ally, you acquire a 2nd fire gem, so that brings it up to either to 4 gold and 2 fire gems, which obviously you convert to 6 combat if you want to, and draw a card. So this card is a really fun one.
Yeah, that looks amazing. We got a holy crap comment. Oh yeah, here's another. Hey, Jack Don.
Yeah.
All
right.
We have
got a few more here. A few more. All right. So next up, Last Embrace. Really love this card. So this one, another really hard-hitting cult card, hitting for 9 combat. You can, if you ally it, you can sacrifice a card in your hand or discard pile. So can be useful for deck thinning, but you got to have enough of the Necros cards to make that happen. Finally, its sacrifice ability is amazing. You can sacrifice this to put a champion from your discard pile to your hand right away. Now, when you're doing this, you're sacrificing a 6-cost card that does 9 combat. So it is a heavy, heavy price to pay on the sacrifice. However, if you're going to be doing this, you probably bring in a really good champion into play. This is an excellent finishing card and can be really powerful to keep you alive as well. Maybe you need a guard or a hero with a champion with some awesome special ability. Last Embrace can get it to you right away. So it's a really phenomenal Necros card. Full Moon's Call for your heavy wild decks. This card is a beast, giving you 6 combat, and then you draw a card for each wild card you have in play, including the Full Moon's Call itself. So worst case scenario, 6 combat draw cards. So, good in any deck. But if you're heavy wild, you get 2, 3, 4 wild cards out when you play this thing. Man, that can be really, really awesome. And it's giving you the combat and the card draw together. So quite a powerful card. And then finally, this is a really neat champion from the Guild, Classic Assassin, the Silencer. She gives you 2 combat and stuns a champion with the expendability, and then has the ally to draw a card. And with a 5 defense, it's pretty solid champion to have on the table. And of course, there's the artwork for the set is really gorgeous. We've got so much beautiful artwork in both in the market deck and all these new characters. Just really, really awesome stuff coming. So we'll have more spoilers in our coming streams. Show you some of the character stuff, and probably a few more of the cards from the Dungeons box set. But yeah, we're really excited about this Kickstarter coming up on November 16th.
Yes, thanks for joining. If there's a specific character you're really excited to see that you'd like us to show next, put it in the comments. And Rob, we put together an assortment of cards and said, which of these do you want to share this week? And we looked at them and he's like, all of these. So, but don't worry, we have plenty more. So we'll be sharing on the weekly live stream. So come next week for more.
And of course, these are our current versions of these cards. There may be tweaks on them from now to when they're published. So basically, as we'll say on the Kickstarter page, nothing's final till it's printed. We're gonna have lots of play testing and other stuff that's going to be going on between now and production.
All right, George thinks this market deck may be more powerful than the old. Everyone, lots of positive feedback, but George, so what do you think?
So basically, as I said, there's more play testing to be done. Our goal is that when you have a market deck and it's got a mix of the 2 sets, and there's 2 different cards out, and you're trying to decide between them, that it's tough decisions. Now, it's fine if there's situations where, in this situation, I definitely want to buy this card, or in that situation, I definitely want to buy this other card, but we don't want one deck to dominate. So if indeed in our play testing over time, it's proving that, these cards are more powerful and we're not buying the old stuff in comparison with these, we'll tweak them down. If there's stuff that's too weak, we'll tweak it up. So basically there is more play testing to come, but our goal is to have, much like with the Star Realm sets, cool, interesting new stuff. It's fine for there to be an exciting new card that, maybe it's a little powerful for its cost. But as a whole, we want the sets to be competitive with each other.
Okay, any last questions? No. So yeah, that was fun. So we'll have more next week, and we will see you next week, and we'll see you online. Game Freak, I'm gonna have to challenge you now to a 48-hour game.
Bye, everybody.
I don't know if you want to answer this question.
Okay, I'm sorry. Last question. New cards look awesome. I notice not too many keywords like curse, etc. So basically, we have mechanics which we may put keywords on. So, for example, when you buy the card, it goes to the bottom of your deck. We currently don't have a keyword associated with that. We could. Sometimes keywords can be a little scary to newer players, and just reading the text on the card, it feels safer. We may end up keywording them, or we may keyword them but not on the card. So like basically reference it with an ability name, but not put that on the card. So that's the stuff we're looking at, and it's all about playability.
And George said he likes it, even though he had the comment that it looks really powerful. I like really powerful. All right. So thanks, everyone. And yeah, I'll see you online, Game Freak. I'll talk to you all. We'll see you all next week. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.